When it comes to saving for retirement, it can be hard to know if you're putting away enough. According to new data from Principal Financial Group, there is some good news. Middle-income households are saving more than they initially planned. 77% are saving an average of 7.8% of their annual income, leading nearly half to say that they anticipate that their retirement will be better than they thought. Nobody hates that. Here to break down the details, we've got Jean Chatzky, who is the HerMoney CEO and founder. Jean, thanks so much for hopping on Yahoo Finance, taking some time here with us. So let's just break down these figures a little bit more. How and why are people coming in above their expectations of their own savings?
You know, this was so surprising to us when we actually got our eyes on these numbers, because if you think about it, we hear story after story about a retirement crisis, about the fears that people have that they won't have enough money to live the retirement that they want. And here we're looking at middle income people, people who make between $50,000 and $100,000 a year. They're putting away almost 8% of their own money. That doesn't account for any matching dollars that they get from their employers. If they layer on a 50% match, that's getting them to a 12% savings rate. Yes, we would like to see them at 15%, but this is huge. And it really shows that people have gotten the message about the importance of putting saving for their own future atop the list of other financial priorities.
How have we seen this differ among certain generations as well, especially as we're looking primarily here with this data at the middle income households and the respondents there?
Yeah, we're seeing that Gen Z, man, they are rock stars. According to, again, data from Principal Financial, Gen Z is starting to save 10 years earlier on average than members of Generation X, also than members of the baby boom generation. If you just think about what people tell you is their biggest regret when it comes to retirement, it is always that they didn't start saving early enough. And the fact that Gen Z is jumping on this so early gives them those additional years that they need for their money to compound. Just to put this in perspective, we looked at Gen X, we looked at boomers, and only 35% said that they believed that they were doing better than their children as compared to those Gen Zers and millennials. 50% of those Gen Zers and millennials say they feel they are doing better than their parents. So when we talk about the American dream of being able to do better than your parents as being dead, this survey actually says not so fast.
Jean, as we think about those who are perhaps looking for some tips and feel behind in their savings, how can they make sure that they're taking steps to catch up to their ideal and their target number?
Well, we do want people to be aiming for a 15% savings rate. And that's because that's what it's shown in tandem with Social Security, what has been shown to be necessary in order to be able to pretty much replace your standard of living once you hit retirement. So you want to max out any matched savings first. That is truly free money. Grab all of those matching dollars. Then you want to look at any other tax advantaged savings that you have available to you, whether we're talking about additional IRAs, whether we're talking about putting aside some self-employment income, whether we're talking about a health savings account, as you were earlier on this show, that can prove to be a really helpful supplemental retirement account, because if you don't use the money for medical expenses, you can spend it down in retirement, and it's treated very much like a 401k. And if you feel like you don't have enough money to save, the thing to do is to just really go back to basics and do an audit of your spending. Look at what's coming in, look at what's going out, look at where it's going. There are lots of apps and tools that can help you do this, but simple things like canceling subscriptions that you're not using, like reducing the amount of trips that you make to the grocery store because you've decided that you're going to eat home 1 or 2 nights additionally each week. Those can make a huge difference.
Jean, thanks so much for taking the time here with us today. Jean Chatzky, HerMoney CEO and founder, joining us here on Yahoo Finance.